I still don't know if what I saw on that highway was real or if I'm still out there, somewhere in the dark, just driving. All I truly remember is the silence. Not just quiet, but a bone-deep, heavy silence that doesn't belong to any place on Earth. I was on my way back home from Las Vegas, pushing through the dead of night. The road carving through the Nevada desert was completely empty, a black ribbon stretching into a void under a moonless sky. Hours before, my wife Emily had texted me. Her words are burned into my memory. "Just drive safe, okay? Don't scare me." I promised her I'd be home by morning. It's a bitter irony, isn't it? I wish I had known then that some promises are impossible to keep. It all started with a mile marker. Mile 65. Nothing strange about it. I'd driven this route, Highway 50, plenty of times. People call it the loneliest road in America. But that night, it felt like more than just lonely. It felt like abandoned, forgotten by the world itself. A few minutes later, as expected, I saw the sign for mile 66. Perfectly normal. And then, a little further down the road, mile 66. Something about it was off. It looked new. Too new. The green paint was pristine. The white letters sharp, almost glowing. It looked like someone had just hammered it into the ground moments before I got there. Unnaturally perfect. I shook my head, trying to dismiss the unease creeping in, and kept driving. 10 minutes passed, maybe 15. Then, in the beam of my headlights, another sign appeared. Mile 66. I slammed my foot on the brake, the car slowing to a crawl. My heart started pounding, a heavy, dull thud against my ribs. That was impossible. The road was a straight line. I hadn't turned, hadn't looped back, hadn't taken a single exit. There were no exits to take. And yet, I was right back where I'd just been. I grabbed my phone, hoping for a map, for anything. No service. Of course. The desert around me was absolutely still, like a photograph. No wind rustling the sagebrush, no crickets, no sign of life. Just this oppressive, waiting silence. Then I saw it. A faint glow on the horizon. Lights. A gas station. A wave of relief washed over me. Finally, something real. Something human. I pulled off the empty highway and into the gravel lot. The place looked like a time capsule from the 80s. A neon sign flickered weakly, buzzing in the suffocating quiet. A single old trucker truck sat beside the building, caked in a thick layer of dust. The windows of the small diner attached to the station were dark, the blinds drawn tight. As I stepped out of my car, the air felt wrong, heavy, thick, almost hard to breathe. The door to the station creaked open before I even reached it. A man stepped out. He had a gray beard, a faded trucker cap pulled low, and pale eyes that didn't seem to blink enough. "You lost?" he asked, his voice raspy, like he hadn't used it in a while. "Sort of," I managed, my own voice shaky. "I think I'm a little mixed up. I keep passing the sign for mile 66. He just stared at me. There was no curiosity in his gaze, no confusion. It was something else, something that looked almost like pity. "Son, there ain't been mile markers on that stretch of road for years." A profound, icy chill crawled up my spine and wrapped around my neck. "But I just saw them," I insisted, my voice barely a whisper. "3 of them." He stepped a little closer, and his voice dropped. "You should have turned around the first time you saw it." He led me inside the diner and poured me a cup of black coffee without asking. The place was completely empty. There was no clock on the wall, no radio playing, no sound at all except for the faint, low-frequency hum of the overhead lights. "How long you been on the road tonight?" "About 3 hours," I replied. He just shook his head slowly, a sad look on his face. "Check your watch." I glanced down at my wrist. The digital display read 10:44 p.m. That was impossible. I had left Las Vegas at 11:30 p.m. My head started to throb, and I noticed my hands were shaking so badly the coffee was sloshing in the cup. "That road out there," the old man said, his voice flat, "it's for people who don't know they're already gone." I shot up from the stool, the chair screeching against the floor. "What the hell does that even mean?" He didn't answer. He didn't have to. At that exact moment, my phone buzzed in my pocket. A new voicemail. The screen read, "Emily." My heart seized. With trembling fingers, I hit play. Her voice filled the silent diner, but it was broken, trembling, thick with tears. "Michael, it's been 6 days. The police, they found your car. It was burned out. They said no one could have survived. Michael, if you can hear this somehow, please, just stop driving." The world tilted. My breath caught in my throat. "I'm alive!" I screamed at the old man, stumbling backwards. "I'm right here! I'm alive!" He just watched me, his expression unchanged. I turned and fled, bursting out into the heavy night air. I jumped into my car, cranked the engine, and floored it, peeling out of the gravel lot. In my rearview mirror, the gas station vanished into the darkness, as if it had never been there at all. The road was silent, endless. I pushed the car faster and faster, desperate to escape, and then there it was, illuminated in the frantic sweep of my headlights. Mile 66. I screamed, a raw, hopeless sound that the silence just swallowed. I kept going, pushing the needle on the speedometer. And a few minutes later, another sign. Mile 66. And then I saw her. A figure standing on the shoulder of the road, bathed in the red glow of my taillights. It was Emily, but her eyes were empty, hollow, a stranger in my wife's body. Her lips moved, forming 2 silent words. "Turn around." I slammed on the brakes. The tires screamed. The world spun into a blur of black and white. I don't remember crashing. Maybe I never did. Maybe I never even left the driver's seat. They say people just vanish on that lonely stretch of highway. Locals tell stories of a phantom gas station that appears and disappears. An old man who no one can quite describe. Voices that crackle over car radios that aren't tuned to any station. Truckers claim they sometimes see a single pair of headlights in the distance. A car that drives and drives, but never gets any closer. Just drifting. Forever. Maybe that's me now, because some nights when the desert falls into that perfect, bone-deep silence, I can still hear Emily's voice on that voicemail. "Please, stop driving." But I can't. I'm still out here. Still on mile 66. Forever looking for a way home that doesn't exist anymore. So if you ever find yourself on that loneliest road in America, and you see mile 66 for a second time, for God's sake, do not keep driving. Some roads don't lead you back. They just lead you away. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoyed tales of the strange and the unexplained, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know what you might find out here in the dark.